Hello, everyone. It's been a little while, so welcome back. I'm Brantford's film enthusiast, Paul Westbrook, and this is another edition of Cinema Picks of the Week. Paul's Cinema Picks of the Week. Even though my sister does the camera, that's Linda.
And do some episodes.
Yeah,
like the last
some
one.
episodes too, so she probably did a few episodes while I was not here, so now I'm going to be doing the episode for today, and it's the Conjuring films. Now, first off, who here has seen the Conjuring movies? Yeah? So leave that in the comment section if you've seen the Conjuring movies or not, or just say me, whatever, when you're watching the video. And the Conjuring movies are based on actual cases, believe it or not, from the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were famed ghost hunters, or some people call them demonologists, but they were like ghost hunters, and they would go out and they'd investigate all these paranormal cases. In fact, they had a museum devoted to the paranormal, where they kept a lot of the artifacts that they brought home, and that's in the movie as well, but they've also did that in real life. Now, the thing about Annabelle, in the movie Annabelle, she didn't look like that at all. What they show in the movies, that's not what she looked like in real life. The actual Annabelle doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. And they have it in a glass case, and they've done a few other cases where they keep a lot of the dolls and artifacts in these glass cases, so nobody can touch them, because you never know, something unusual may happen. But anyway, the Conjuring films. This is the set my sister got. Now, she's got it. Can you get a picture of it?
I got it.
Yep. The Conjuring universe. It's a 7-film collection.
Though there's more than 7.
No, there's more than 7, which I will mention, yes, because of The Nun 2. This one has most of the movies except for The Nun 2. You got The Conjuring, you got The Conjuring 2 and 3, you got the Annabelle creation film, and Annabelle Comes Home, and of course The Nun, and then followed by The Nun 2, which I didn't feel was as good as the first one, but The Nun was actually a pretty good film in its own right. Yes, the Conjuring films deal with Lorraine and Ed Warren as they go to these different places, like a house with a family, and the first one is sort of like a farmhouse, I think it was. It was a farmhouse, and they had to deal with paranormal events that were happening there. The woman was possessed by a demon or a spirit of some sort, and
a spirit
was haunting the family. And Annabelle, the character of Annabelle, that deals with the doll that they find. And apparently Annabelle was a haunted doll and was possessed by the spirit of a girl, which in creation they talk about the little girl that actually possessed Annabelle in the first place, and her spirit was tied to the doll that she had. So, and then...
that wasn't the first one.
Was that?
They only mentioned Annabelle like for 2 seconds in the first one.
They only mentioned Annabelle? Yeah, in the first Conjuring, yeah.
Yeah, for 2
so
seconds.
So what they did is they made a movie about that character, because it was so interesting they decided to make a film about Annabelle herself.
Yeah.
And, the doll was possessed, and...
by a demon.
By a demon, yeah.
It wasn't a child.
Well, some say it was supposed to be the child that was...
They thought it was a child?
But then later they find out that it's not. In fact, it's more of a demonic entity that they have to deal with. Now, creation goes back to the beginning when they first start... Like, a lot of these movies tend to jump back and forth. It's like The Conjuring, and then by that time, Annabelle's events have already happened.
Yeah.
And so they jump around. So, you have to excuse the confusion that comes from a lot of the films is the fact that they've jumped around a lot. And, like, for instance, The Nun took place even before Annabelle. The Nun is probably one of the first stories. Although there's another one, actually. Wait a minute, that they didn't mention. The Curse of La Llorona. I also have, which is a part of the Conjuring universe.
I haven't seen that one.
That one's about the spirit of a woman who supposedly drowned her children, and then what happens there is that the ghost comes back and haunts the area, haunts people as a result of that. She wants children to join her, so that's why she haunts a particular family. But yeah, that one wasn't mentioned on here at all. But yeah, the Curse of La Llorona was also. That's another one you should look into.
I will.
And The Conjuring 2, like I said, introduces the character of the nun, even though the events had already happened. But apparently the nun is haunting Lorraine for some reason. That's why she appears to Lorraine in the second movie. Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is a whole different type of story altogether. That again, I think it's more of a demonic cult or something.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Very similar to, the theme is very similar to that, but yeah, it deals with the demonic side of the paranormal that Ed and Lorraine have to deal with. And Annabelle Comes Home takes place when after Ed and Lorraine brought the doll home with them, and apparently they go off on a vacation or something, and then they leave their daughter at home, and their daughter and her friend discover the gallery, where they keep all the stuff.
Daughter's always known about it.
Was that?
I thought the daughter always knew about the basement. She was never allowed to go. She knows she wasn't allowed to go in there.
And they kept there, and then what happens is they release Annabelle, I guess, and then all sorts of paranormal hell takes place as a result of it. But I like that one as well. I like most of the films and stuff. But again, like I said, a lot of the films that are here, you mentioned, you don't have the Nun 2, and you don't have the Curse of La Llorona.
Not yet.
Yeah. So those are ones you'll have to find yet. Try to find the Curse of La Llorona. Alright. Which is another ghostly story. And was very good in its own right as well. But yes, of all the ones, I did like the first one. The third one I couldn't really get into the same way because I didn't like really the demonic part. I'm more into the ghost side of it, but it does.
I can get into any of them easily. I can get into those kind of movies any day of the week. They're my type of music, my type of
horror movies, I guess.
And anything paranormal.
All shows that we deal with it every day.
Mhm.
Even with the films, not just the Conjuring films or any films in particular. Another film that's really good that I got at home called The Innkeepers. I'll have to talk about that one sometime. And that one's like two people with a hotel, and the hotel is closing. It's on the closing weekend just before it closes up for good. And the girl wants to do some investigation because they think that the hotel is haunted. So I'm not going to say anything more because you have to see the movie and find out. But yeah, The Conjuring, if you really like the Conjuring films, get a set like this, the 7-film collection. Because
I just got it on the whim. I didn't even know there was.
Yeah, you'll have a majority of the films, and yeah, you still might have to get a couple, but still, this is a pretty good, concise collection. You have 7 great films, and all of them, if you really enjoy it. And again, it's like I said, it's based on a true story, so remember that too. The fact that Ed and Lorraine Warren did investigate. They did these case files. There's a 4th one that's coming, by the way, of Conjuring, which will be the final film in the series. That's the one that's going to close out everything.
Well, given that Lorraine and I can never remember her husband, Ed passed
first, and Lorraine passed out
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I actually got to talk to Lorraine, the real Lorraine Warren, on a Facebook chat once. They were doing like a paranormal thing, and I actually got into the chat, and next thing I was actually talking to the real Lorraine Warren, the lady that's portrayed by Vera Farmiga in the Conjuring series.
And he visited the house in the second one.
And yes, in the second movie, the house that they do the investigation in, I actually have visited the real place when I was in England with my late girlfriend at the time. She and I were passing by the area, so we actually got to see the place where all that took place. So, yeah, so that's my close ties to The Conjuring, the fact that I was actually at the real place itself that was is depicted in the film. Fortunately, I didn't deal with any of the ghosts that were supposed to be there. Of course, I didn't stay very long. We just passed by, looked at it, and wow, this is a very famous house. And yeah, around Halloween, I'll tell the story about when my sister Rose went to London and they bought a real house that was supposed to be haunted. But I'll wait till Halloween to explain that story. But for now, yes, the Conjuring universe definitely gets 7 film collections. It's certainly worth it, and something you definitely not regret seeing, for sure. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for listening to me talk about the Conjuring films. And remember to like and subscribe to the video. And leave the comments in the video below the video so that we can see what you said, and hopefully you enjoyed a little talk about the films that we do, and leave suggestions. I'm always looking for suggestions on certain films that you might want to see, because I like to help recommend films, and that'd be a good way to do it. For now, this is Paul Westbrook reminding you that I'll be seeing you. Where? At the movies. So long for now.